Me 35 male with my wife 36 female 12 years married. At a crossroad and need an outside perspective. We were married within a year and a half of meeting each other. We were madly in love with each other. We shared a love of politics and were focused on building our careers. We both come from Christian families that do not believe in divorce. We have 2 boys, ages 6 and 2. Starting with our first year of marriage, we had real problems. They revolved around my wife's expectations of a husband. This was a hard time for us. I was in my last year of law school during the day and working full-time at a law firm to support us. She was in her first year of law school and not working. We ended up in therapy. Basically, she wanted me to be home more, to do more housework and not to want to see friends, law school classmates. She also did not like the close relationships that my family had and expected that we would mostly sever those and focus on our family. She did not feel that she needed to sever any relationships with her family as they were fine. Bit of background. Her father is a retired college professor who did most of the housework and was always home. Her mother was a middle school teacher. My parents were both attorneys. After we worked through this, we had a series of further fights that required a therapist to help us work through the issues, including where to live, whether I would attempt to enter politics. It is a family tradition and I agreed to not seek office, whether I would spend time with friends without her, whether I would continue to hunt, fish, etc. We have been in therapy off and on since then. Fast forward a few years and she was diagnosed as of BPD, a mild case. This diagnosis occurred after our second child was born. She also has a paralyzing fear that I will leave her. Note: I have never made this threat. Slowly over time, she has effectively run off any of my friends. By our third year of marriage, she was working hard to sever any friendships that I had with anyone that was not her friend first. She would find a reason to dislike them and then hound me about it, refuse any invitation from that friend, and refuse to include them on anything we were doing. We have also discussed this at therapy. To this day, we see friends, basically her friends or her family, one every 6 minutes 8 weeks, and it always engenders a fight between us beforehand. I am now a successful attorney with a nationwide practice. I generate enough work to keep 12 attorneys plus staff busy and still litigate cases myself. I am also an adjunct professor at a top 25 law school and serve on various boards, committees as part of my client development. Unfortunately, I am required to travel to do my job. Some years it is 30 nights away. Some years it is close to 90 nights away. It really depends on whether I am in trial. She is a stay-at-home mom. She opened her own law firm, but has basically shut it down because she doesn't want to work in the law. I am okay with this. Unfortunately, she resents being a stay-at-home mom. This was her choice. I was very clear that if she wanted to work, we would make it work together. She also resents having to do housework and believes that we should split the housework 50-50. I do not believe 50-50 is a fair split given that I work outside the home for 60+ hours a week. If she was also a full-time outside of the home, that would be a different story and I would feel different about it. Every night I am home, I am expected to put the kids to bed and then clean up the kitchen. I love and cherish this time with our boys and do not resent it at all. However, there are a few nights a year when I ask if she can do it because I am simply exhausted. She will rarely take me up on my request. I wake up with the boys every morning when the first one gets up. I feed them, make sure backpacks and lunches are ready, and only wake her at the last minute so she can have extra sleep. I do this every morning when I'm home, even if I do not arrive home until after midnight because of a delayed flight. This time with my children is important to me and it allows her to get extra sleep. I do most of the cooking when I am home and always try to leave a fridge full of food so she does not have to cook while I am gone. Unfortunately, I rarely eat with the family because she feeds the kids at 4:35 and I cannot be home by 5 most nights, so I end up eating dinner around 9. Alone. She holds it over my head that I do not join them for family dinner. But it is impossible to make dinner at 5 if I do not get into the office until 9 because I drive our oldest into school every morning I am home. We go in and out of a dead bedroom, basically. If I am traveling, then any intimacy is off the table for a period of time before and after I return. This has created a lot of friction in our marriage as well. When we are intimate, she is very vanilla and most of the time she has a hurry up and finish attitude. It was not like this when we were dating or first married. We have discussed this with our therapist numerous times and he finally told her that she needed to decide if she wanted sex in our marriage, and if she did not, then she needed to understand that there might consequences to that decision. This an almost 2-year dry spell. She refuses to attend events that are important to me or are important to my career. She will not participate in any client entertainment, either in our town or out of town. She refuses because she doesn't like the small talk and sitting at dinner for 2 hours. The ironic thing is, on the few occasions when I have told her she simply has to attend and made her, she has had a great time and always says, "We should do this more often." Earlier this year, my grandfather passed away and it was very hard. She was able to be there for me for a day or two, but soon started telling me that I needed to get over it and pull myself up. She started telling me about all the things I needed to do around the house. Our therapist told me that she was simply unable to emotionally support me during this time and that I needed to not lean on her at all. He suggested that I resume working out at the gym and start taking time to take care of myself. He said that I was too focused on work and trying to please her, so I began my old strength training workouts and jogging on off days. It really has been a great help. She has accused me of getting back into shape because I was having an affair. This is not the first time a similar accusation has been made. But I have never had an affair. About 2 months ago, while at a conference for work, an attractive woman lawyer kissed me in the back of a cab. There were others in the cab. I put a stop to it. I declined her invitation to come to her room. However, it has really started my gears turning about how my life could be different. After all of our therapy, it has become clear that she will get better as long as she is in constant therapy. But she will never be what I consider normal. The problem is that she will not stay in therapy long term because she believes I am the problem. She thinks simple solutions like, "Don't travel," will fix everything. She has this romantic idea that if we have no money for 2 or 3 years that we will sell our house, move to a small house and have a romantic life of scrimping and saving while I try to rejigger my practice and probably lay off 8 or 9 employees. I find nothing romantic in being broke and always wondering when I will get paid again. She doesn't see the very serious consequences of simple decisions.